I so let's go back to 7th grade. I like to be by myself. I just loved it. You want to be my partner? Nope, not today. So I get into your class, and then you were pretty good about partners until we got to Monster, and then I had to be partners with this huge group of people who did life in prison, and it was really hard trying to just because I want to do it my way and my way only, and that wasn't gonna work. So I just learned how to not be such a downer about it because a lot of people do that, and that's not very fun. So I learned to embrace it and enjoy it. Enjoy working with the people that I did. So now, I mean, like, if there's partners, I am willing to do it. I'm willing to work with a group. I'm willing to work with one other person. It doesn't matter. Because I think that when you get your, I mean, like, even if your ideas get shut down, they still need to be there. And that doesn't, I mean, like, that can only happen if you have, like, a group of people that you're working with or a partner or something like that.
So, in comparison to 7th grade to now, I'm hearing that there's a lot more comfort into working in a collaborative group.
Yeah.
Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, because before I was just like, I was very one-sided, and I'm just willing to listen to everything, even if it's something that's not that bright. I'll listen to it and I will take it into consideration. And who knows, maybe that could be like the main thing that that we work with.
Sure.
Like something that doesn't sound very good to begin with, but it ends up being like awesome.
Sure. What was the most interesting aspect of using inquiry, in your opinion?
I think that it was like most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was just different. Like, it was just, I never used it before until I got into your class, and I was like, okay, no. But yeah, I think it was just the whole entire thing. I didn't know that I was doing it until you, like, told me, like, 20 minutes ago, or however many minutes ago, that I was actually doing that, and I was like, oh, I knew that. No. But, it's just something that you don't realize that you're doing. Like, and then that's the amazing part about it, is that when you think of inquiry process, you think of something that's really boring. And it wasn't. I mean, like, you can make it boring. You can totally dumb it down. But you just went like, poof, and gave it like feathers. Something like that. And so, like, just the way that you did it, it's just, yeah.
Okay. What do you suppose is the most challenging aspect, either with the inquiry, Genius Hour, all that locked together? What do you think is the most challenging?
The most challenging for me was trusting myself with what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, even, like, the classes, like, outside of your class, I was used to being, like, spoon-fed what's happening, or what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, going into, like, the monster to begin with, the book, and, like, the whole life in prison, the website, all that stuff, it was really new, and I hated it. I really did. And then I loved it. And it was really weird, because it was like just the fine line of, like, 2 weeks into it. I was like, oh, right, let's do this. No. But, it was like, I don't really know how to describe it. It was just very, it was really, I don't know.
How has that trust impacted you now as a learner? Since it was a challenge for you at first.
Yeah, instead of saying I can't do it, I know I can. And so, like, if it has to deal with, like, I mean, like, okay, so this is weird. It's in band. We had to do a dance for the marching band. And there were people who would refuse to do it. And I'm like, just go for it. Like, nobody's going to judge you. So, and even if they do, who cares? You just have fun. Right. And then so when it comes to me not trusting myself, that's whenever I kind of realized that what's the point of not trusting myself when I'm going to be stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Okay. What were some unwritten skills you had to use, strengthen, improve on to be successful throughout the inquiry process?
I think the trusting myself was probably one of those.
Okay.
But probably like putting your words out there, like saying what you feel needs to be said, because I mean, if it wasn't for somebody going, like for the monster, we were planning on doing like the gangs and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. And then somebody, I don't know who it was, said like, why don't we just do 2? And I was like, okay, I know where I'm gonna go. No, but like saying what you feel needs to be said and doing what you feel needs to be done during the inquiry process is probably the best thing, and because there are guidelines in a way, but not like you do this and then you're going to do this and then you're going to do this and then so on. Like, it's not like that. So that's one of them. Let me think.
Others could possibly say time management or compromise.
Oh yeah.
Or not to procrastinate. Like, are any of those speaking to you?
Yes. The time management and the procrastination, I didn't even think about. Yeah, big one. I remember whenever I made that end of the year project, and it made you cry. I said, like, you gave us the freedom to not have a due date. I mean, like, for writing, okay, there was this day that you could pick, but to not have one, and then we wouldn't do it. Like, we wouldn't finish it whenever we thought that it was needed to be done, or whenever you thought that it was needed to be done. So, like, the projects and the Genius Hour, I mean, like, there were some really, really good Genius Hour ones, and there were some really, really not good Genius Hour ones. It just depended on how you managed your time. So, like, for me, my schedule was 1 art project a week, and if I couldn't, I couldn't. Because sometimes I was sick, sometimes my mentor was sick, sometimes I forgot. I don't know. But I did manage to get a lot of stuff done in those weeks that we did the Genius Hour. And so that was really great for time management, which is something I just don't have. So, yeah.
Has that experience impacted you this year, though, in terms of time management? Or is that still something you'd like to keep working on?
I probably need to keep working on that. I mean, I know, like, study for a test, and they tell us, like, a week before that we're having a test this day, and I studied the night of, or something like that. Like, it's just something that I feel like I need to work on.
Gotcha. Okay, how has your experiences with inquiry impacted your learning process? So not necessarily you as a person or unwritten skills, but now you as a learner, what have you been able to, how has this impacted your process or your thinking?
I don't, like, you give me some weird piece of text, somebody, teacher, and nobody else understands it, and you just, if you use what you, like, I mean, not only I learned it, but every person who is a freshman learned that, and they should be able to use it, because it was very, very big in the whole entire 8th grade language class. Like, the inquiry process was something that we really valued and really used. So we're given this, like, weird piece of text, which is completely normal for, like, somebody who is able to use those skills, and they like, so you're reading it, and nobody else is understanding, but if you use your, like, the inquiry process, you're able to think, like, this is what they're saying, or something like that. So that is very, very great, because there are some things that people just don't understand, and if you use that, it makes, like, life a lot easier, because it makes it just, yeah, it just makes you able to do those things.